Let's get it. Can't forget the cheese. Yeah. SPK. Partner in crime. There you go. Yeah. Yummy, isn't it? That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a New York style bacon, egg, and cheese. What's up, YouTube? Steve here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys like that little intro. Basically how I start my day almost every day. Today, since I'm not going to the hobby shop, can't really record me going there. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about investing in football cards. But before I get to that, I wanted to talk a little bit about my channel and the growth. Currently sitting at 93 subscribers, which is awesome. And I really want to thank you guys for everything that you guys have done, between subscribing to the channel, following me on Instagram and everything. Big thumbs up to you guys. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Everything I do is for you guys. I'm probably gonna be doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers. Haven't decided what I'm going to give away, but it's going to be something special for 100 subscribers. And I just want to thank you guys. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll get this channel growing and do more giveaways and stuff like that moving forward. But today's video, we'll get right into it, is about investing in football for the 2020 season. My first player that I'm going to be talking about is Kyler Murray. Now, I don't have any other of his cards other than this memorabilia. I have not been blessed enough to pull anything else Kyler Murray. Literally, only thing I have of his. But let's take a look at how he did for the season. I have my little cheat sheet. Anyone who follows me on Instagram knows that I was working on this for a little bit. Just collecting data from all the different players. But let's take a look. Kyler Murray. He is the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. They had a pretty good season, all things considering. Let's look at him individually. He threw for 3,722 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, had an 87.4 quarterback rating, a 64.4% completion percentage, and ended the season with a 5-10-1 record. He did have a tie. I believe it was the first game of the season he tied. But then after that, he went on 5-10 for the rest of the season. Now, a lot of it had to do with team needs. They all around are a pretty bad team. Need a lot of help on the offensive line. Needs help on defense. Basically everything, they need help all around. He got thrown into a bad situation and made the best of it. Had a pretty decent, rookie season, all things considering. Now, the team needs going into next year and into free agency and the draft is going to be a lot of linemen. Offensive tackle is a big need for them, along with an edge rusher and cornerback, and obviously interior offensive lineman. Now, Daniel Jeremiah, an NFL media analyst over at NFL.com, came out with his 1.0 mock draft of the 2020 April draft, and he has Tristan Wirfs. He's an offensive guard out of Iowa, going to Arizona with the 8th pick. Now, I like that. I like them going forward, and I think they have a good chance at doing better than what they did last year. Big part of it being Larry Fitzgerald coming back for the season next year. So definitely continuity is a quarterback's best friend, and being able to keep your receivers is a big plus. So Larry Fitz, Christian Kirk, expect big things out of them next year with Kyler Murray. The second guy I want to talk about is my homeboy Drew Lock. Love me some Drew Lock. If you haven't been in any of the Discord chats or anything over at Sports Cards Investor, whenever I'm on, I talk about Drew Lock because he's like the man. I love him. I mean, these are the cards I have of him so far. Clearly, I am investing a lot in Drew Lock. I will be picking up even more of his cards during the off season and expect big things from him. Now, let's take a look at what he did for the season. He went on IR, unfortunately, early on in the season, and that kind of slowed down his progression in regards to him getting on the field experience. However, that definitely helped him out in the classroom, I felt, and gave him a leg up when he came in because he already was familiar with the playbook and everything. And he did pretty good in the 5 starts that he had. He had 1,020 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, had a quarterback rating of 89.7, a completion percentage of 64.1, and a record of 4-1. Again, keep in mind, he was hurt most of the season, came back middle of November, and played. Now, he did lose to Kansas City in his second game. He had maybe like 12 days being back and playing with the first team. So I'm not going to hold too much against him. On top of that, they played in the snow, and I believe they played at Kansas City, which was super hard. Kansas City is a Super Bowl team. Clearly, they're playing next week. So I'm not going to hold that against him. If you took that game out, he would easily be at like almost 100 quarterback rating. He did awesome. I'm expecting big things from him. The team needs for next year, obviously, offensive tackle. Every team needs an offensive tackle. Basically, every team ever. The cornerbacks, the wide receivers, and the safeties. Now, Denver traded away Emmanuel Sanders during the middle of the season, which hurt their wide receiver depth. Not that they have bad wide receivers. I mean, they got some awesome weapons over there between Courtland Sutton, Deshaun Hamilton's very underrated receiver, Noah Fant, awesome tight end, Phillip Lindsay. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on for them. But their depth at wide receiver is something that is lacking. And like I said, along with safety help. Daniel Jeremiah, again, has them picking Jerry Jeudy, who is absolutely my favorite wide receiver out of the draft. He's a wide receiver, played for Alabama. He is going to the Broncos, 15th overall, as per Daniel Jeremiah. Again, all this stuff is super fluid and can change instantly like that. And we're just kind of going month by month. I'm gonna kind of sit back and see any big changes in the NFL, that may affect my strategy going forward. And the next guy I want to be talking about is your boy Jimmy Garoppolo. He ended the season with 3,978 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, a 102 QBR rating, which is very impressive, and a 69.1% completion rating. Obviously a 13-3 record, and went on to the Super Bowl. Now, Jimmy plays for the 49ers, which are probably the most complete team in football. There's really not much need that they have, other than maybe like some depth at offensive line. Everyone could use offensive line no matter what. And yeah, other than that, I mean, they're pretty solid all around. Their biggest concern for me is free agency. They have Emmanuel Sanders, who was traded to them from the Denver Broncos. He's going to be a free agent. It's going to be very imperative for them to sign him. And Jimmy Ward, the safety, he's going to be a free agent as well. They need to sign both these guys to kind of keep continuity for the team. If they do let Ward go, I do suspect them to end up drafting someone to replace him. Daniel Jeremiah has A.J. Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson, going to them with the 32nd overall pick, which means he also has them winning the Super Bowl, which is what I hope for. The next guy I want to talk about is Jarrett Stidham. He is the backup quarterback for the New England Patriots. I have his card here, pen pal, Stidham, and N'Keal Harry. I expect him to move on from Tom Brady. I do expect some pretty good stuff out of Stidham. Bill Belichick has shown and proven that he could win with damn near anybody at quarterback. He'll go and hire the grocery bagger at Wallbounds and put him in there and win 10 games. That's what the guy does. So Stidham didn't get much playing time in the NFL this season. So we're going to compare what he did in college. He played for Auburn. He transferred from Baylor. He threw for 7,217 yards, 48 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It was about 2.5 years that he started roughly between Auburn and Baylor. While he was at Auburn, in the 2017 season, he won the SEC West Division. He had victories over Alabama and Georgia, which were the 2 teams that played in the college football championship game. He ended up handing Georgia their only loss during the regular season, but ended up losing to Georgia in the SEC title game, then ended up being invited to the Peach Bowl, where they lost, unfortunately, to UCF. In 2018, they couldn't follow up the same performance that they did the year prior, mainly because, as I said, they play Alabama, they play Georgia, they play some really good guys over at the SEC, and placed 5th in the SEC West Division. They were invited and defeated Purdue in the Music City Bowl. Stidham even ended up winning MVP for the game. So the guy could ball. The guy's done stuff in college. So I fully expect him to go in there and second year know the playbook, know what it's like to play as a pro, and 2 years under Belichick should be enough for him to go in there and succeed. Now, the big concern is what the team is going to be doing in regards to free agency and the draft. Now, their biggest need right now is edge rusher. They need a wide receiver. They need offensive tackle, and they need a tight end. Daniel Jeremiah has them drafting Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU, with the 22nd pick. Yeah, that's going to be my strategy for 2020, is investing most likely. And these guys, definitely my boy Drew Lock, he's my big pick for 2020. I also want to get some Lamar Jackson stuff and maybe a Patrick Mahomes. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead, click like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and let's get this channel to 100, and I'll give away one of my cards. All right, you guys have a good one.